And welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Mr. Carnage, and we're going to talk about some cloud gaming. Um, Honestly, when this first came about, and this was kind of like one of those things they were talking about, like what the future would bring in cloud gaming and things like that, I myself thought we would be further along that pipe dream by now than we currently are. But they are making headway. Um, in that space, definitely. PlayStation and Xbox both, have a cloud gaming service that they're working on. Specifically, PlayStation's is geared more towards the PlayStation only. And I think that's a bad move on Sony's part, simply because you want to try to introduce your PlayStation platform to more people, and being specifically a PlayStation only type thing, is definitely, in my opinion, one of those setbacks that they're gonna run into. Well, as Microsoft's Xbox is already got a beta out um, for Apple products and the PC. No Android support for it just yet, although they have announced that that's definitely going to be um, later down the timeline. But then you have some other ones like the GeForce Now, which, in my opinion, right now, GeForce Now is probably the best one that I've messed around on, and I know that that one's only going to get better. So I kind of did my investigation and research and was kind of figuring out, why are we stuck at this plateau where cloud gaming isn't exactly mucho better by now. And I actually found some interesting things out, such as they're having some of the same problems that we're having. Some of the data centers are having just as much trouble getting their hands on the equipment and parts that they need, just like we are in the gaming PC space. So, if we lived in a perfect world where video cards and parts just reproduced at a billion by billion ratio rate, something like that, you know, um, I think that cloud gaming would be much more advanced than it is now. Now, I'm excited for the future, obviously. Even with PlayStation's platform, they said that they're going to, over time, they're going to add the entire library of PlayStation games. So, from the very beginning of PlayStation to the present, and then obviously future titles as well. And I mean, that's really cool. I mean, it's a huge library of games for people to play on, definitely, without a doubt. And that's something I know that most people who like PlayStation is thoroughly going to enjoy. Um, but at the same time, Microsoft is going the route of, hey, we want to get this on every platform in front of everybody's face, and we want to offer a huge library of Xbox and PC games for everybody to enjoy and play. And if I was a betting man, I would say that Xbox Cloud Service is going to be more utilized by gamers than PlayStation. I'm not saying that PlayStation's not gonna, you know, figure it out and be like, hey, you know what? Up yours, Xbox. We're coming out the gate with some cool stuff. I'm sure they will, definitely. But then it brings you to some of the other cloud gaming services that are kind of on the horizon. And one that's interesting is um, VR. With Facebook's Oculus Quest 2 being one of the front runners in that space. And I actually have an Oculus myself, and I can honestly tell you that the Oculus it's a great VR headset for, you know, what you get for it. And with more games coming out every couple months for it and everything else, and the support that they've thrown behind it, I mean, it's an amazing, you know, little device to have. So when you're able to start streaming, you know, your VR with like Steam and things like that, and you just have this plethora of gaming experiences that you can enjoy. It's great. It definitely is an amazing time to live for sure. I mean, I remember I got my Atari 2600 when I was like 5 years old, and I remember the moment that I, you know, got it, unboxed it, and everything as a kid, and I was just so excited that it's hard to recapture that feeling, throughout your life. Um, when I got my Nintendo, I was just as thrilled. But as I got older and time progressed, it has been a little harder to impress me, so to speak. But cloud gaming is one of these things that I'm honestly excited about. And with this day and age, with the price tag of building a gaming PC, I think cloud gaming is going to be one of those things that really offers people a next, option in that space. And I personally am excited about that. So, if you haven't had an opportunity to try any of the cloud gaming yet, um, give like GeForce Now a try. You know, um, get onto the beta for the Xbox X Cloud, and just give it a try. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there's still a long way to go. There's a pretty bad delay sometimes on some games. Some games support for it is just absolutely horrible. And competitive games like PUBG and Fortnite, games like that, they they're not a viable option right now for cloud gaming, just because somebody who's rocking an RTX 3090 and you're on a cloud service, obviously they no delay on that. So you're definitely behind the pack. So it's a little hard in that sense. But if you just want to play some like single player games or multiplayer that's not necessarily competitive, give it a try. Definitely. Now, with that being said, too, with the cloud gaming that's coming out, there is a lot of money from even you know Chinese gaming companies that are putting their weight behind it. So the future is only going to get better, obviously. So with that, out of the way, one of the other things that I think that's definitely an interesting thing is the gambling. And a lot of people haven't touched base on that. So there there is a lot of need for that sort of thing, and moving cloud gaming into that whole gray area of online gambling, um, is definitely that's on the top of a lot of people's minds right now that are in the industry. Now, I personally don't care about online gambling. It's something that some people enjoy, whether it's bingo or poker or whatever. And if that's what people want to do, that's fine. I mean, if they pay for it, it's their money. I figure do whatever you want. But I also do see the industry side of things, that when it comes down to stuff like loot boxes, things like that, where you're spending money but you're not guaranteed anything. It's the same as gambling, in my opinion. Loot boxes and mystery boxes and all these things that you do, while exciting, definitely, because it's that stroke of luck. It does hurt some people in the sense that it doesn't allow people on the same playing field, right? That, hey, this guy's rich, he makes a stupid amount of money, I'm kind of poor, I don't make half that. And he was able to buy 100 of these, and I was able to buy two of these, and yeah, it just sucks because the competitiveness there is, pay to win. And I have never been a fan of the pay to win model. So there's talk about this going back into the legislation about video games and what they can get away with as far as loot boxes and gambling goes. So, not a lot of headway on that yet. It's just something that's been talked about the last couple of days. Like I said, I mean, if you want to spend your money, it's your money, you know. Um, but as far as competitive games go, I just don't feel like there's a place for gambling in something like that because it is pay to win. You're never going to compete with somebody who can, throw $3,000 a week on a game. You're just never going to compete with that. So, with the cloud gaming, I do think that, yeah, uh, gambling type games should maybe not be allowed on that platform. Especially if you're paying a monthly service and then you're also doing microtransactions, that just rounds up. Definitely. So if you're listening out there, people, you want to gamble, that's fine. But don't do it in the video games, especially competitive ones. But I think I've rambled on enough. What do you guys think? Are you guys excited about some cloud gaming? Have you guys tried it out yet? What do you guys feel? Um, are you excited about the future? Or are you like, I still would rather just, get an RTX 3090, but whatever. Just let me know in the comments below. And as always, you guys are amazing, and we will catch you all in the next video.